Good evening and welcome to our live crafting session. I can see a bit of a glitch on my screen, so I'm hoping that this will last the course. If I do suddenly stop, depending on how far through I've got, if I've got a fair way through, then I won't restart, but if it's right at the beginning, I will kick things off again. So good evening to you. My name's Jenny McCormack and I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I'm based in the market town of Brackley, which is in Northamptonshire, and that's here in the UK. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm normally here live on a Thursday evening at 7 PM and also a Monday morning at 10 AM. I've had a great day today. I've been down in London all day with some of my Stampin' Up colleagues, which has been great fun, and I literally walked through the door about 10 minutes ago. So we're going to wing it this evening, literally wing it, because we're going to use the Enchanted Butterfly stamp set, and we're going to be using the butterfly stamps. What I do want to do is show you some of the designs that have been created already this week during my coffee and card sessions. There's so many variables. This is a really easily overlooked stamp set, and it's definitely worth considering having in your stash at home, just because you can do so much with it. And it was great to see everybody at Coffee and Card come up with different designs and different ideas with the same stamp set. So let me find myself and we'll get cracking with some creating. So let's see, find myself on the phone, which is always helpful, just to make sure that we are indeed live and doing what we should. Oh, we are. Hi Carol, lovely to have you join us. I don't know if this is a stamp set you've got, Carol. I can't remember what you said when you joined us. I'm pretty sure you joined us Monday morning. So, oh, there's another one snuck in there. So let me show you some of the designs that we made. They're not all finished cards because I was showing lots of different ways. So I will go on to put these onto card bases. Oh, jolly good. Thank you, Carol. I appreciate that. And Caroline had a brilliant idea with these. So I'm going to try this one out as well. Caroline at Coffee and Card on Tuesday. So I'm going to show you a sample of that. So we've got 9 stamps altogether, and these are reversible stamps, so you can use either side of the stamp. You can either use the backing or you can use the front detailed element. Great if you want just circles, so I'm going to have a go with that as well, because I haven't used the backs of the circles. Same with the leaves. So let's see, we've got this one here with the dots. Just make sure I'm in the screen. There we go. So just the dotty image overlapped in some of the cases, or you could do a very specific design. I think I showed this one on Monday, which was the butterfly. So stamp the butterfly in the background and then just stamped and fussy cut this particular one. This is the one using the leaves and using both sides of the stamp. Hi Brenda, and hi to you Teresa. So this uses the leaf stamp, so I stamped it in garden green on the detail side, and then I stamped it in lemon lime twist on the back of the stamp itself. Is that one? And then this one is using the tile stamp, and this is in Pretty Peacock, and then I've used Pebble Path for those elements in between. If you're sure if you can see those, hopefully you can. Actually, they stand out better on the screen than they do in real life. How bizarre is that? Normally it's the other way around. Here's another one using the tiles, and then in this case I've used the back of that detailed stamp. to create the centre. I hope you're still feeling well, Brenda. So this one, just straightforward stamping with Highland Heather and Gorgeous Grape, and I used a ruler to mark the centre line, but you could also just do a straight corner to corner. That one's using the long stamp, which consists of the 6 patterns together, and rotating them each time. There's a cross and there's an X, if you like, or a plus and an X, so just turning it round. More of the dots, more of the tile patterns. This one I think I did online on Monday, which was lining them up and then putting the lemon lolly layer using the back of the stamp. This is the same. And then we've got those leaves, and then a thank you card, again using those patterns. So I've hardly used the butterflies, but I do want to show you the idea that Caroline came up with the dots. So I might be able to combine that with the butterflies. We'll have a look and see. I'll give it a go. So let's put those to one side. So I've got this, let's grab a block. Okay, and I'm going to use, let me grab some ink. Orchid Oasis for the moment. So I hope everybody is keeping well, and I can't believe it's Friday tomorrow. Oh my goodness, I've got new coffee and card design to do tonight, and that will be Christmas, and I'm going to borrow an idea from Sam Dempsey-Clark, one of my team members, who did a great coffee and card session herself using the Merriest Trees. Okay, so the idea that Caroline had, which I think was inspired, was to stamp these as if they were flower heads, and then she stamped a single line for the stalks from one of the other sets. I think if I can find a pen, of course I won't be able to find one, I need one. I've got basic black Stampin' Write marker. Could do with early specimen one really, couldn't I? Let's see, what have I got here? This is it's a little bit thin, but it will do the job. So what I'm going to do is just draw these down like so. Like that. So you've got 3 flower heads like so. And then I'm going to, I don't know if I've got much space for the butterfly, but I'm going to try and put the butterfly on there. And what I could also do is add the leaf, isn't it? I think what I'm going to do, leaf is quite big, but I think if I just put it at the bottom, I'll get away with that. So let's grab another block. Grab a green, so this is garden green, which I did refill a little bit at Coffee and Card, and then subsequently got covered in green ink. Okay, so just try this out. Okay, so what I'm going to do is not do the whole of the leaf, because it is a little bit oversized, but it could serve its purpose here, like so. And I'm trying to think which stalk she used, what stamp set it was that I must have had with me, but I have no idea, funnily enough. Okay, so I'm going to turn this one over, and you do want to make sure really that your stamp is completely clean before you put it back on the other way around. And I'm going to grab a soft sea foam, just a light green for the infill. Hi Catherine, I hope you're keeping well. I'm hoping there's enough ink in there. Yes, there is. So I'm just going to go over with the reverse of the stamp. Now obviously you can't do this at all with our cling mount stamps because they've got foam on the other side. You can do it with our normal stamps, just have to be a little bit careful because they're not necessarily symmetrical, and also the stamp may not be cut. This is cut quite straight on the sides, whereas the normal stamps have quite a lip around the edge, and therefore you'd have a bigger block. I'm thinking I might then fill in this blue as well, so I've got more filled in flower heads. Don't know why I turned that over. So let me grab Balmy Blue, I think. Jolly good. Hope you've had a reasonable week and not working too hard. Okay, that's Pool Party. And this is Balmy Blue. So let's have a look. So I just want to see. Perfect. I know I haven't got a huge amount of ink in this, which is perfect, so I don't really need to stamp it off. But if you had too dark an ink colour, you could obviously stamp that off as well. Or if you didn't have a light blue, you could stamp it off a couple of times. There we go. A bit of fun, isn't it? Okay, it looks quite different like that. So I'm going to find the butterfly, see which one is going to fit. It might be, it's a little bit big really, isn't it? I think I could have it sort of half on, half off, couldn't I? Or I could stamp and cut it out. That would be better. Let's grab a piece of card. I'll just use one of these. And what colour for my butterfly? That's the question. Now, it doesn't really matter what order you stamp these in when you're doing the shadow stamping, where you're turning it over. It really doesn't matter. What colour? Oops. Maybe I'll go. I'm undecided. That's no good, is it really? Let's have a look, see. I've got Daffodil Delight. See what that looks like. So I am going to fussy cut this. Okay, just going to try and other one. It's better colour. Obviously that wasn't very clean to start with. And now what you can do is use a combination of things to colour these in if you wish. So you could use a blends brush. Okay, so if you've got our Stampin' Blends pens, this is dark lemon lolly. I'm going to use this one because it's not quite as greeny brown as that one. So you could use those to colour in, even though we've used our standard classic inks, like so. And that one. You could use Stampin' Right markers. You could use a blender brush, like one of these, and pick out the colour from there. Blender pen. So you could use that on its own, just to pick up some of that colour. Or what you can do is dip it into the ink pad, take off some of the ink until you've got the colour you want, and then go over with that. Let's just do maybe that one there and that one there. Or you could use an aqua painter or a Wink of Stella, which is our glitter brush, and go over that whole area with the glitter brush. I'm going to pick out a different colour just to add into that. I've got Calypso Coral. Let's just use a little bit of that. So when you finish with the blender pen, if you're changing colour, you want to scribble that on some scrap paper until you've got the colour you want, or you've got it back to a neutral. So just adding that little bit in there. And this will gradually get lighter as the ink gets diluted with the blender pen. It's confusing. It's called a blender pen, and we've got blends pens or blends markers, which are our alcohol based. So this gives you a much more watercolour look. Just going to fill those little bits in there and on here. And this will pick up some of the ink that's on your paper. Okay, so you can really use whatever you have to hand. So if you've got an aqua painter and some water, you could do that. Just be careful if you're doing it on plain white card. I'm using our thin basic white, so you don't want to apply too much water to that. So I'm looking for my pen top, which will be here somewhere. Okay, let's cover this up. Whoops-a-daisy. Okay, let's just fussy cut this really quickly. I'm going to take my glasses off to see what I'm doing. And you can fussy cut it close, or you can cut it with a little white border. It's entirely up to you. And I do like this butterfly because there's no antenna to cut around. So just very quickly. This is not a, definitely not a master class in fussy cutting. So just cut these elements out here. So I'm just doing it roughly along the edge, but I'm not being too precise. So are you making Christmas cards, Catherine, or everyday cards, I wonder? Let's just cut around there. There we go. Okay, so then we've got our butterfly. I'll put the glasses back on so I can see what you can see. Okay, so what I'm going to do is pop the butterfly on here, but pop a little sentiment on the right hand side. So I've got hello is quite nice, or just a note, or a thank you. Let's see, I've got just a note. Let's pop it in there. Oh, nice. I love the Christmas card that you did the other day that you'd cut out from Fragrant Forest. Absolutely stunning. And had a, as I seem to remember, you had a dark blue sky, is that right? I'm going to use, what am I going to use? Orchid Oasis. I don't want to add another colour into the mix. So I'm just going to see how straight this is to my block. Not bad. Okay. There we go. There's my just a note, you can see hopefully on there. Oh, from Earth and, oh yes, that's what it was. Okay, and then I can put my cutout butterfly up here. I'm just going to round that a little bit. It's a bit too harsh. Okay, pop that. I feel like it needs to go that way, but maybe it doesn't. Okay, let's find a background for this. I happen to have an Orchid Oasis one here. Should do the job. It's definitely got to go that way, hasn't it? And that's going to go onto a white card. So let me just put those two together. And let's have a look. See if it's got any ink on it, any glue in it rather. It has. Okay. So those circles are now turned into flowers, and I think it was Scott and Caroline that looked and said they look like alliums or agapanthus or something. So, and then we can pop our butterfly in here. Just going to put the butterfly on with a little bit of glue, and I would definitely add some Wink of Stella to give it some nice shiny wings. So I'm just gluing that in the centre of that. I'm going to bend those wings up a little bit, like so, and that's going to go onto a white base card, hopefully, that I have just to hand. And I've just spotted some more patterns. They're everywhere. Okay, I always think if I end up with loads of sample cards, it makes it obvious that it's an easy stamp set to use. When I end up with just one card per session, then it tells me that that's a little bit more fiddly to use, whereas if I end up with loads of cards, that means it's a very versatile stamp set. Okay, so there's the flowers, which started off just as dotty circles. This stamp here, you can see that on there, just about. And then I've used the leaf there and the other side of the leaf, and I turned the dotty stamp over and stamped with the other side, so you get that effect. Hi Valerie, I hope you're well. So there's that one there. What I want to do is something else with those butterflies. So what I'm going to do is stamp the other side of the butterfly to create a background of solid, very light pastel butterflies. So I'm turning that over like so, and I'm going to pop some paper down because I'm going to go off the paper. So I'm just using small square cards. Obviously you could use larger cards for this, but it just happens to be what I have to hand after coffee and card. So I'm thinking any of the subtles. Oh, so I've got petal pink, but I'm thinking bubble bath and lemon lolly. I might need to stamp them off. We'll have a look and see, because it's a solid stamp. And I should probably give the stamp a good clean before I start. Okay. So I released the projects for our class in the box for November. So if anybody wants to see those in person at the end, I can pop them on the video for you to see. It's still live. It's slightly glitchy, but we're still live. Oh, good. Catherine's thought was bubble bath as well. Okay. So, I almost want it. Am I going to do different colours? I think I am. So I'm going to leave space for a bubble bath one there. And you could obviously clean these and switch them out in between. Just going to do those to start with. Clean that. And then switch to bubble bath. Hello Trudy. Thanks for joining us. I hope you are well, had good birthday celebrations and everything else. Okay, so what I'm going to do is sort of put this in between, and I'm quite happy for it to overlap. And let's do another one there. I could have introduced 3 colours, couldn't I, really? But, so we've got the background, and I guess you could stamp it off again as well. Let's just put in a little bit here, clean that off. And add another lemon lolly one. So I believe this is on page 109 of the annual catalogue, and as I said earlier in the week, really easily overlooked because you don't see the whole size of the stamp set. You just see the butterfly that's full size. I think it's the butterfly. Okay, I like it where it's crossed over. Okay, so the question is, am I going to stamp over one? I think I am. So you just clean it off. You do need to clean them really before you turn them over, otherwise you could end up with ink on your block, which I discovered, and I think it still is on my block somewhere. Okay, so am I going to go straight over that one? I think I am. And let us use Berry Burst. A nice go-to pink. Works really well with Bubble Bath as well. Now you could stamp one and cut it out, but I've done enough fussy cutting for you today, so I'm not going to do that. But I am going to take my glasses off so I can see. Okay, I'm just going to put that straight over, hopefully straight over there. Now, it doesn't matter if it's not exactly in position, she says. It really doesn't matter. There we go. And then what I'm going to do then is put my sentiment across those butterflies and leave it as is. What do you think? And what did I have? I have out by my side, because this has got some lovely sentiments, and I made some gifts for the ladies that I met up with today, and I used this one that says nice to have you by my side. So I've got, and here, thank you for being a part of my life. Life is better with friends like you. That would fit nicely. Thinking of you today. Sweet friend, you did it. Here for you. So I think I'm going to do life is better with friends like you. And for some reason I haven't put the labels on this set. I have no idea why. So I might leave that out to make sure that I put the labels on later. And then again, I might just put them away. Okay, I'm going to stick to Berry Burst, so I'm not introducing too many additional colours. Let's just see how this stamps. So my block is straight to the paper, the grid paper that is, and it's definitely going up. Let's put it something like straight. That's where the label definitely helps. I'll just try that again. That's better. Goes up very slightly, so I can compensate slightly by moving it down on the right hand side. I'm going to put it in there like that. There we go. Life is better with friends like you. Cute. Okay. And I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm going to mount it up, but I just think that's nice and simple, to the point. I can add some Wink of Stella, so I've got some glitter on there, but I just like that overall effect. And I think it's very similar to one that's in the catalogue that uses the background butterflies. Let me see if I have the very first layer to hand. Put my glasses on to see, and if I haven't, I'll cut one. I think I have. There we go. Looks that really popped, doesn't it? And then that's going to go onto a white card again. And then I'm going to stamp the the backs of the butterfly on the inside. Ooh, my Facebook's dropped out. Hello, Marion. Not sure if you can hear me and whether you're watching with sound or not, but lovely to have you join us if you can hear me. So, going to layer that up. Like so. So that's going to go onto my berry burst layer, like so. And I will add Wink of Stella glitter pen to my butterfly. And we also have some new embellishments which include dragonflies and birds, and those are actually included in your class in a box for November if you take the spring option. Before I put that layer on, I'm going to stamp my butterflies on here, and again just making sure that both sides are clean. So, and you want to make sure you give it a nice amount of pressure when you're using it effectively upside down, using the back of it. So I think just going to do these across the bottom. Oh, bless you, Marion. Thank you for joining us. I know I do see you occasionally. It's just timing, isn't it, sometimes? Okay, so this is the back of the stamp in the bubble bar, so that really soft pink. And I think what I'm going to do is one pink, one yellow, and then another pink. So, and I'm quite happy for them to overlap. So I'm just deciding which way to put it, and I can't quite decide. Okay, so I've just folded that over so it only goes on the right hand side inside, like so. Cheers, Catherine, thanks for joining us. I could have let it go all the way over, to be honest, couldn't I? Never mind. And then this is the lemon lolly version. Like so. There we go. So that's going to be the inside with the little butterflies across the bottom. Hopefully you can see that. And this is going to go on the front. And I will do the same with the butterflies on the envelope, because we don't want any naked envelopes. And I might add a little bit of bling to this. I'm pretty sure. What have I got here? This has got, this is actually covered in cat hairs, because it was out and it was sticky and the cat decided to sit on top. So I can't take these to coffee and card, but I can pick them out and remove the cat hairs. So there's one. Okay, Put one up here. Oops. Where's it gone? There it is. So one. Let's see, down here, and then I'm going to put one up in that little gap there. So these are the ones that, this is the trio set where you get the three, the pink, the green and the white. And the cat hair. And it must have been squirrel because he is extra fluffy. There we go. Get rid of the cat hairs. So there's our finished card, which I hope you like, with the butterflies on the inside. And then, whoops, just to finish that off, there's my trimmer, doing a runner. I might just put the butterfly, single butterfly on the back, and let's see what have I got face up. So we'll do the bubble bath one. Great name, isn't it? On here, like so. I'll put another one on this corner, like that. And then the berry burst with the detailed side of the stamp. So these are called reversible stamps. We have, I think this, I want to say, 2 sets. We've got this one and then the sea turtles one. Not sure if there's any other reversible ones. I know we've had a few in the past as well. Okay. So that's going on there, and then another one on the back. And we're done. There we go. So I said I will add some Wink of Stella so that it's got a bit of sparkle on. But there's our finished card, just with that single stamp and the sentiment. So this is the back of the stamp, this is the front of the stamp. Hopefully you can see that okay. And also you could stamp another one and cut it out and have it in 3D on the top if you wanted to. And then this one, we stamped the circle and then the back side of the circle one, the same with the leaf, and that just saves you filling it in or having to colour it in. And then I've done the same with the butterfly, but added a little extra colour with, I used both Blends pens and also the Blender pen with Calypso Coral, just for that additional splash of colour. So there we go. So plenty of designs. If you missed the beginning ones, I'll flick through them just really quickly now. So an all over tiled pattern, the same but with the sort of squared off stamp. This is the same one. And then you've got those large leaves, you've got that strip of 6 circles, that's the same one. More pattern building, more of the dots, more of those. More pattern building, but this one's just slightly more spaced out, so there's more gaps in between. And this is the same, but by changing the colours it looks quite different, doesn't it? Obviously it's more striking with that pretty peacock and the crumb cake. Another one there. Those are the leaves. Somewhere I've got a flower. Haven't really used the flower stamp either, but I have got a flower. This one here. So much bigger than you would imagine them to be. There's the flower one. That belongs on that. And then butterfly that I've cut out, and then more little dots. So a great fun stamp set. There's no sentiments on it, but it is great for pattern building, great for backgrounds. Butterflies obviously always come in handy to fill in some gaps if you need to. So thank you for joining me. Does anybody want to see the projects for our card class for November? If you do, give me a shout while I'm tidying up and I can show you. I might just make those stalks a little bit bigger. If I can find my pen that I used. Here it is. Take my glasses off. So this is just a fine tip 0.5mm pen. I'm not very good at drawing natural lines. This is a bit of an odd place as well, this one, isn't it? Never mind. You can see why I'm not a natural artist, can't you? Sort of goes that way. And then last bit in there before I ruin it altogether. There we go. Okie dokie. Oh, we are still live. Good. Thought for a minute we'd stopped. Alright, so there we go. That is the end of the session. And I shall be back. Well, I will do a live to show you the projects, and I've also got to send the email out for bookings for the class. Obviously, if you've already booked or messaged me, that's absolutely fine. Your space is guaranteed. There's the top of my pen. And that email will come out hopefully tonight or tomorrow, depending what time it is now, 5 to 8. Just get rid of this from the blend pen. Otherwise, when I come to use it next time, it's amazing how much ink stays on there, as you can see. Gosh. There we go. Okay, so thank you so much. I hope you've enjoyed that. This is our stamp set of the week, Enchanted Butterfly. I think the name doesn't do it justice really, because there's only 2 butterflies. There's a lot of everything else. And remember, if you order the Enchanted Butterfly or the stamp set of the week during the week in which I'm demonstrating it, then you'll get the components for the cards that I make during my live. So you'll get card bases, you'll get layers, you'll get this piece here, you'll get sequins and envelopes as well. So thank you so much everyone. Do have a great evening. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. I look forward to crafting with you very soon indeed. Bye for now.